queríamos que notaras los contactos que hicimos esta mañana. Yo contacté, este hombre se llama Brian, y usted contactó a este hombre se llama Luis, ¿cierto? Entonces vamos a pasar por su casa. Hey Mom, just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. I decided to do a little video for you to show you what a day in my life is like here. Spend a little day with you for our birthday. I hope everything is going good. Just wanted to let you know how much I love you. I miss you guys. I hope Dad's helping me out with this. I'm going to have him make sure you guys are watching this on the big screen with popcorn and stuff. So I just hope you can sit back and relax and have a great birthday. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in a year and a half.
7:30 in the morning. Every day we have to do exercises. I usually get up and do push-ups. Not very many because I'm super weak right now. I'm getting chubby too. That's okay. So every morning from 7:30 to 8, we got exercises.
So this morning, as you saw, it's a little bit of how my mornings usually go. So like I said, we wake up at 7:30 every day. We do exercises. Sometimes I don't do my exercises, but usually I do. Try to do some push-ups, some abs, stuff like that. We have a few DVDs. We have Insanity. Sometimes me and Elder Smith do that. Elder Peck has this funny DVD that we use. It's like 8-minute abs, and we do that sometimes. It's pretty fun. Then from 8 to 9, we have that time to have breakfast, to shower. When I eat breakfast, usually what I have is a piece of marraqueta with some peanut butter on it. And I don't know if I've talked about the marraqueta bread here, but it's the best. They don't have it in the States, but it's just this bread you can buy at any Almacén. They have it everywhere, and it's super, super good. And it comes in a little shape like that. It's a long piece of bread. It comes in like 4 pieces. You can break them off and eat them. That's what I usually eat for breakfast. Like I said, from 8 to 9 is our time to get ready. Got to shave, take a shower, iron your clothes, do all these things. And it's kind of hard sometimes because we got 4 people in the house with an hour of time to do all this stuff. And sometimes there's arguments, sometimes we're just taking longer showers, but that's life. Okay, so now this is the hour, like I said, at 9 o'clock every day we have personal studying. One of my favorite times. We have time to read, we have time to study notes, study Preach My Gospel, all the books that the missionaries use. I just got done, a month ago reading the Book of Mormon in Spanish. That helped me a ton with my Spanish. So I was reading that almost every day for about a half an hour, and then I was reading Preach My Gospel every day for a half an hour. Right now I'm reading the Book of Mormon in English again. I'm trying to finish it before December. I have that goal. And I'm still reading Preach My Gospel. I try to read Preach My Gospel every day. Preach My Gospel is a sweet little book that we have that has a bunch of skills and stuff we could develop to become better missionaries, better at teaching, better with the language, more knowledge of the gospel and stuff like that. And it's a little handy book. And President Cook is always talking about how important it is. So we use that quite a bit. It's definitely my favorite time of the day. I've learned a ton here. So, yeah. At 9 o'clock, like you saw this morning, we have our personal study, and like I said, we study those books, like Preach My Gospel, my Book of Mormon, the Bible, my prayer lessons and stuff like that. And then after that, we have our companionship study, and then that's when we study together, like I said, this morning or last night. And so we study together, we talk about our day, we talk about the lessons we're going to teach, we teach each other what we learned. We do all that to help each other learn, and now it's actually been a really good thing. There's a guy that we've been teaching here, a church missionary that's inactive, that told us that one of the best things he learned on his mission was how to study with somebody else. So he's in school right now, and he always studies with other people, and it helps him a lot. So to keep working on that, make sure I'm always studying good with my companion, because that'll help me when I go to college. And he's actually going to be studying a lot too, so that's a really cool thing. But so we do that, and then at 11 we do language study, and I've been trying to do a lot better at my language study. I've been working on my accent a lot. I've been trying to learn a lot of words. I have a little book. I actually just found that dictionary that Dad bought me for Christmas that has the little words in it with the iguana with the hat on it. I have that and I use that all day, and I try to study all the words in there. I try to read out loud a lot to work on my accent. So I have that gringo accent, so I gotta work on my accent. Elder Peck, since he's a Latino, he has the opportunity to speak English, and he usually reads the Book of Mormon in English. Sometimes I help him read and teach him some words, but he's been practicing a lot of that. He can pick up a lot from what we say in the house, because there's me, him, and the two other gringos, so he can learn a lot because we're always speaking in English. He likes that a lot. And then right after that, like I said, we come here to the chapel where we go to a Seaver, and we get on Rescate, and we work on Rescate. Rescate is a program that a missionary here developed, and it's to help us find all the members of the ward that aren't going to church. It's just a list of a ton of names and addresses. We have to go through all these lists, and we have to go search these houses and make sure that people live there or not live there, try to talk to them, and so we do a lot of that, and it's a lot of fun just going to houses of members, because like I said, there's like hundreds of members here, so we hardly do any lessons with investigators, just members, because everyone's already been baptized. About 40 years ago, everyone was baptized, and some of them don't even know they're members. We were teaching a lady for a little while. She told us she was Catholic, and so we thought she was Catholic. And then we got on this Rescate, and we found her name, and it turned out she was a member of our church. It's really funny because there's so many people here that don't realize they're members when they are. Here we are again on Baquedano. Like I said, I walk this street. I know this street like the back of my hand, Baquedano. So, like I talked about a little bit earlier, we have lunch at 1:30 every day. Usually what happens is the hermanas of the ward, the ladies that are in our ward, they make lunch for us, and they usually bring it to our house. And we were at the church today, so the hermana that cooked lunch for us called us and said, "Hey, can I bring the lunch to your house at 12 or whatever?" And we're at the chapel, so we said, "Yeah, bring it to the chapel." So she just brought it. I want to kind of show you guys what my normal lunch is like every day. Yeah, and so we're going to start with that. Okay, so we always have, today we got mashed potatoes. That's a good surprise. A lot of times we have mashed potatoes. They actually have a thing called puré de papas. Mashed potatoes, and they got choclo, and it's papas with meat. It's mashed potatoes with meat and other stuff inside of it. It's super good, and it comes in a little tinfoil thing like this. But then we got mashed potatoes from La Maritza. Some arvejas, some peas, a little box of peas. We usually don't get those. That's the first time I've gotten a box of peas. So that's a good surprise. The main course. It all comes in this little handy carrying bag too. Yesterday we had lunch with Maritza, and for lunch we had hot dogs and hamburgers, but without buns. It was just the hot dogs and hamburgers. A little different, but looks like we got something pretty good today. Looks like some chicken with some peppers and some carrots. Soup thing. It smells really good. But we're gonna save that for when we get to the house. And then always. Always, there's a bag of juice. We always get these. We have probably 100 in the house right now because usually we don't drink them. I try not to drink these because they have a lot of sugar, and I don't really like the taste all that much of the week goes. But there's other ones that I buy that don't have as much sugar and they're a little bit smaller, but I like those. But we always have these. Every lunch they give us like 2 or 3 of them. And then the dessert. And a lot of times it's fruit. And every meal at Chilenos, they always have dessert. If you don't have dessert with the meal, it's not a meal. So it's usually ice cream, or a lot of times it's fruit with cream all over it. Sometimes it's flan. We get a lot of flan, stuff like that. But today we got apples, and so that's what we usually eat for lunch on a normal day. Some days we get to go to the houses, but a lot of their hermanas here, their husbands work or whatever, so we can't enter their house without their husbands there, so they have to make it, we have to go pick it up, or they have to bring it to us. And so that's usually what happens, but that's normal lunch for us every day. This is Lippy running at us, my favorite dog. Lippy! Lippy. ¿Cómo está, po? ¿Cómo está? So I told you guys about this guy Andres that we were teaching about 4 months ago. And one day me and Elder Peck, we're at his house and we had to get to the church and we only had like 5 minutes to get there. And we were teaching him, and so I decided yeah, hey, how about you take us on a ride in your motorcycle to the church? He said, heck yeah. And so he gets his son's name is Angelo. He's about 10 years old. He calls Angelo and he gets his helmets on. He gives us all helmets, and we all get in this motorcycle, all 4 of us. And so they're all in the sidecar. There's another part on the sidecar. There's a back seat where Angelo was sitting, and then I was behind Andres, and we rode down this like main street called Gran Avenida in our sector, and we were riding down. We saw all these people, and we're just riding. And during this time, the other ones pulled out my camera and was filming and stuff and taking pictures. And I haven't sent that one to you too, so I thought I'd throw that in for you guys to watch. But this was like 4 months ago when I was with Elder Peck, and we rode this motorcycle to the church. Right, here we are walking in Baquedano. The street is called Baquedano. It's a street that I walk probably 100 times a day. I pretty much live here on these beautiful streets of Chile. We're going to a lesson with Alan and Jessica, the family that I always talk about. They're super awesome. They're my family here in Chile. He's the one that I told you about that was drinking and smoking, and the missionaries before us taught them a little bit, and he stopped drinking and smoking, and now they're preparing to go to the temple together. The purpose of a lesson is to help people feel the Spirit, to help them come closer to Christ. And every time we have a lesson, we always start. Like I said, we usually start with a little bit of small talk. I always try to be really personable with the people, because people like that. Try to ask them about their week, their family, their work, everything that they do. And I try to be really personal every time that I have a lesson. And then when I start the lesson, we always have to have a prayer. And that's the purpose. Have a prayer, invite the Spirit a little bit. Invite the people that are there to pray. Invite the members of the family to pray, to help them learn how to pray and help them start praying. So we always start with a prayer. And after that, we begin teaching. And the big thing in teaching is it's really important to ask questions, because the lesson's really bad if the missionary is talking the whole time. It's a lot better to ask questions to help them start thinking, about their own relationship with Christ, about their own experiences. And when you ask questions, it helps them feel the Spirit more. And that's the purpose, is to help them feel the Spirit and help them and invite them to do things that's going to help them grow closer to Christ. And this is how we have to get people to come out. Hello! Están los dos. The both of us have to yell sometimes to get people to come out. Just waiting. Hello! The first week we were here, when I was with Elder Peck, we had to search for this street, because this street. Oh, there he is. Hola, Allen, ¿cómo está?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás?
Bien.
No ni he escuchado.
¿Cómo ha estado?
Bien.
I love teaching. It's my favorite thing. Walking the street all day, sometimes you're just praying for a lesson, because it's really fun to teach. It helps me become better, it helps my knowledge, and it's really fun to become better at teaching and to learn how to help people become better. I've had a really great experience with Alan and Jessica, this family that we taught last night. When I came here, like I said, Alan was just finishing He had just got done drinking and smoking. He decided to quit, and he'd been off it for probably a week when I got here. And so we just kind of helped him keep excited about staying off those things. And since then, he hasn't drank, he hasn't smoked. And his family and him have been going to church, and we've been helping them prepare to go to the temple together. And they're just a really, really awesome family. Really, really awesome family. Like I always say, they're like my family here in the mission. The two, Bastian and Santiago, those two, I love them. They're like my little brothers. I always go over there and bring them presents and candies and stuff like that. And I just love them. Jessica's always calling us to see how we're doing and make sure we got lunch. Alan is he's like one of my best friends. He's a really good dude. But it's just been so great seeing the progression. And a lot of the times in the mission you think, shoot, we don't have many investigators, we don't have any baptisms, but when I think of success that I've had here in the mission, I think about Alan and Jessica and a few of the other families that I've been able to teach, and maybe I haven't had a baptism, maybe I haven't had that effect on many people, but there's one family that I've helped progress, and I've helped bring them closer to Christ. And I feel like that's a success. I feel like if that was my only purpose to come here on the mission, then my mission was a success to help this family.
Before bed, I usually try to read a little bit of the scriptures, pray, hop into bed. I'm usually really tired by the end of the day, so it's pretty easy to fall asleep here. Right now it's kind of cold, so I got the heater on. I always wake up when it's super hot, turn that heater off, but, good night.
Okay, and so I've talked a lot about the Persa. I don't think I've sent very many pictures or any videos or anything, so that's another thing. When I was at Elder Peck, I recorded one day. Persa is awesome. That's one thing I love about this sector is that the Persa goes right through it. So every Saturday and Sunday I have the Persa. And we can walk through. There's everything, like I said, there's everything. There's Xboxes, there's food, there's cleaning supplies, there's toilets, there's shower curtains, there's Chileno soccer jerseys, there's American flags, there's everything you could ever think of in this one place. It's all super, super cheap. But yeah, every Saturday and Sunday we have that here. It's one of my favorite things. It's like a mini fair. But that's one thing we miss about this sector is we're not going to have it. But there's actually a ton of Persas all over Chile. There's a ton of things called ferias, and these are the ones that you would like because they have fresh fruit. It's like a farmer's market, but bigger, and it's super cheap. You can go buy bananas and strawberries and fish and avocados and all that stuff for like $2 mil, like $4, and you're good to go for a week, and it's the best. But that's the Persa, one of my favorite things about Chile. Just want to do a little tour of the chapel so you can see kind of what I do every Sunday, where I'm at every Sunday. We're going to go around the chapel. So here you've seen the sacrament room. You've been in one of these before. It's where we take the sacrament. It's where all the members go. Here we got where I do rescate. Sometimes it's the secretary office. Right now Elder Orchard's in there doing rescate while I'm playing around. It's just a hallway. Go down here. The baptismal font's in there with the doors locked right now, so we can't show you that. But right here, I hang out every Sunday, wait for members to come in. I'll shake their hands, talk to them for a little bit. Right here is the Salón Cultural. This is where we have activities. The activity that we had with the 18 de septiembre. This is where we work. Gathered in here with tables and food and stuff. Ping pong, like foosball at this activity the other day. There's a stage up there. The cool thing about this chapel is it's a lot bigger than most of the other chapels in the mission because it's a stake center, so it's a lot bigger. I actually saw a chapel the other day that was really, really small, super small. And so we got a big chapel with lots of rooms, with lots of space, which is kind of nice. And the chapel's in my sector, so I don't have to walk very far to get to it, which is nice too. We're going to go to La Sala de Sacerdocio. This is where we have the priesthood class every Sunday. So my calling in the church in this ward is the consejero de presidente de sacerdocio, and so I'm the counselor of the priesthood president, the president of the quorum of elders, the elders quorum president. Like I said, I can't speak English very well, but so I'm here every Sunday helping with the class. There's usually about 4 or 5 other guys in here. We've been really working hard on getting more sacerdocio, more priesthood members, because there's not very many people here right now, but that's what we've been working on. So every Sunday we get up here and there's a class about how to become a better husband, how to become a better father, how to fulfill your calling in the church, things like that. We do this every Sunday at 10 o'clock. That's the first class that we have, every Sunday at 10 o'clock. We come here, that's where I start. And we'll go over at 11 o'clock. We go to a class where the investigators and the menos activos, so the people that we're teaching, we bring them in. It's a little more simple class. So there's one class in this room. It's the Sunday school class, and so sometimes we're in here, depending on if the investigators come or not. So this is the Sunday room class. They teach about the Bible. Actually, Diego's sister teaches this one. Teach about the Bible, things that are going on in the Bible. It's a little more complicated, so when we have investigators and less actives that are here, we invite them to come to our class, and this is where we teach and we help them learn a little bit more about the gospel. It's called the Principios de Evangelio, the gospel principles class. And so we sit in there with the investigators and we teach little subjects like faith, like scriptures, the prophets, stuff like that, to help them understand more, help them to feel more comfortable, so they're not reading in the Bible and trying to figure out stuff that's makes sense to them. So we always invite them to come to this class. And that is at 11. And it is in here. This classroom right here. Little classroom. There's me, my companion, the other 2 missionaries, and the teacher, and then maybe 3 other people usually. And this is where we teach. The teacher, her name is Weenie. She teaches every Sunday out of the book, and it's really good. Usually in the middle we have to leave to go to find our investigators and our less actives that we're teaching, because we always invite them while we're teaching. We say, hey, we'll come and pick you up tomorrow if you want, and so we'll run and find them and then bring them to church so they come. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes we're running because we're a little late, but it's good because that's the purpose for us, is to help bring people to church, and so that's what we do, and this is the church. Yeah. And so, with this whole routine that we have, I've gotten used to it. It's kind of nice. I always talk about, everyone's always like, yeah, the mission's super hard, but honestly, I think it's really easy because it's super simple. We know what we're doing. Every day I get to wake up at 7:30. I know what I'm going to be doing that day. I know that I'm going to eat, exercise, shower, read, go do rescate, go work, go eat lunch. It's super simple. When I get home, I know I'm going to have to worry about studying, I'm going to have to worry about working, I'm going to have to worry about all those things. And on top of that, my friends, my family, everything. But here it's just super simple. Just every day we do the same thing. It's really great. It's easy. The days go by faster when it's in a routine. So time's been going by really fast. It feels like I've only been here for a month, but I've been here. Yeah, I'm getting up to 7 months now. Crazy, but I like the routine. It helps me. I think it's going to help me a lot when I get home with school and work. I'm going to be able to wake up early, have that routine of learning how to study, how to get myself going every day. I have my little planner thing. We have this every day to help us, show us what we have to do. And so from 7 to 11:30 or whatever, I have my studios, and then I have lunch there, and just everything is planned out. And I think that'll help me a lot too. When I get home, I'm going to learn how to plan my time more wisely. That's what, like you saw last night, we did that little short planification. We do that every night, and I think that's something I want to learn to do when I get home. I'll have my cell phone, of course, that'll help me a little bit, have my schedule on there, but helps a lot, and it's really good to keep that schedule going. Stay firm in that, be obedient to the schedule, because that teaches you a lot. It teaches obedience, it teaches hard work, it teaches all these things, and I've learned a lot from that.
Okay, so it is approximately 10:35 here in Chile on a beautiful night. Every night we come home at 10:30 after a day of work, and we have to plan for the next day. So if we don't plan, we're going to be walking in the street just in circles without knowing where to go and what to do. And we talk about how our day went, people that we taught, how many lessons we had, stuff like that. And so I'm going to show you a little bit about that.
I'm Elder Jackson. First training.
First training. Okay, yeah. Beginning with corn, but
After you talk.
Yeah.
okay, so this is a little updated version of this video because, let's see, about 4 days ago, we had changes. So the last part of the video that we did, I had a different companion, but it's been a while, and now we have changes. So I got my new companion, Elder Jackson, from Arkansas. He's super cool. He's a super good guy. Actually, I'm training now, which is really fun. It's a really fun experience. Elder Jackson has a ton of energy, ton of excitement for the work, love for the gospel, for the people, stuff like that. So I'm really excited. It'll be a fun change, and that's a little bit about what I'm doing now. I'm not going to go too into detail about it, but I'm sure I'll be emailing you guys about what's going on here, and I'm going to let Elder Jackson introduce himself a little bit to you guys.
Hi, Sister Peck. Happy birthday. I'm Elder Jackson. I'm 20 years old. I'm from a small city called Arkadelphia, Arkansas. It's in the south part of Arkansas. It's got about 500 people. Happy to be here. I'm a convert, and I wouldn't trade this for anything in the world. But have a good birthday.
Yeah. We will see you.